Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and today is Conspiracy Monday. We're tracking the Iowa caucus, but things are just kind of getting started. We went to the vampire weekend, they call it the vampire weekend, and tracked it last weekend. It just amazes me how the Democrats refuse to discuss all the key issues facing the country, like the terrible homeless problems that they can't solve, the rising cost of health care, that they're only going to tax us more. GMOs in our diet, they won't even talk about the dangers of GMOs. The terrible chemicals in our environment, pesticides, herbicides, they won't take a stand against those things. It's strange, isn't it? Fluoride in our water, oh, God forbid that they talk about that. A known neurotoxin that's lowering our IQs across the nation, which is probably contributing to lower test scores among our kids. They won't talk about that. Chemtrails, the destruction of our atmosphere. They want to call it stratospheric aerosol injection. They won't talk about that. The possibility that directed energy weapons like these are being used in California and Australia and around the world to start fires. They don't want to talk about that. But congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Congratulations, that's awesome. This is not a wig, this is my real hair. Yeah. Chiefs pulled out a great win. It was fantastic. Watched it like a lot of people. Of course, it's bread and circuses. It's just stuff they play us to keep us happy to watch things. Super Bowl commercials. Some of you saw Donald's commercial. Thankfully, I missed it. I saw Bloomberg's commercial. Was not happy with that. Too much gun control. I don't support gun control. It's a mistake. We're not going to be able to reverse the Second Amendment anyway. Why are the Democrats pushing that? Because they represent the New World Order, that's why. The Democrats and the Republicans both represent the New World Order. A third party is the only way to get our country back. That's my take. But here it is, lots of people having fun. Led by Patrick Mahomes, pulled off an epic Super Bowl comeback. Great game, by the way. Had fun watching it with Sarah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're just the third African-American quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. What does your story, what does that message send to kids all across America?
I think it just means no matter where you come from, no matter how you were raised or what race you are, that you can go out and follow your dreams. And that's what I've always believed. No one thought I was going to be a football player. Everyone thought I was going to be a baseball player, but I followed my dreams, and now I'm here winning the Super Bowl with all my teammates.
What do you have to say to those fans back in Kansas City who waited 50 years for this?
Hey, we're coming home. It's going to be amazing. Everybody be out there for the parade. We can bring the Lombardi home.
Coach Reed, what does your journey say about perseverance and sticking to it?
Well, it's great. I got a great bunch of guys, man. They're phenomenal. So I could coach another 20 years with this group.
The comeback kids, how?
Heart, man. You know that. It's heart. So I'm proud of them.
Well, good. Hey, 50 years ago they had the win, and now they have it again. So congratulations to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City. We're going to show you some very scary stuff from the coronavirus that's still growing in numbers. The numbers are 20,209 known infected and 426 dead people, double what it was 2 days ago. Yeah, so we've got that happening. Serious problems are happening. But this particular scene shows a young mother and her daughter wearing a plastic bag over them as they walk. Let's play that for you. Yeah, I wouldn't blame the mother at all for doing this. We'll take a look at this. Here we go. Look at that. Okay. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So doing what she had to do, I don't blame her one bit. I would do the same thing, worried about my family's health living in China. It is horrible, but it's reality. You know, I would normally go to a restaurant during the week that I'd normally go to, but it happens to be frequented by Chinese people, so I'm not going to that restaurant. Just because there are national Chinese people that come into that restaurant. Nothing against Chinese people. It's just that I don't want to take the chance of national Chinese people coming in. We got black and white posters. If any of you want to print them up, if you're in Iowa, you can go to America's Third Party and get me on the ballot. But either way, just getting the name out there is one way to do it. AmericasThirdParty.com has the poster for print. There it is. It's Talk to Me and Join the Voter Revolt. Right-click that and send it to your computer, and then email it to an Office Depot or an Office Max, and they'll print that up in black and white or color. You can make a lot of, put it on cardstock too. You make a lot of these things. 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 16, either way. These will spread the word, and it's very affordable to do that. It's not that I want you to leave the room. It's just that I can't go to a restaurant frequented by people who arrive from national Chinese trips, the junkets that arrive at this restaurant that I normally eat at. So I'm not going there anymore. I don't know if 79 million people are dead, but that's a stretch there, White Bear. We can't validate that. Now, we did look at a video earlier of the Wuhan area from Scissor Fight, and it showed very little activity in the market or in the hospital in Wuhan. Very little activity there. So that's strange in and of itself. Okay, excuse me, but I have a little problem with the browser. Okay. I'm opening up the show at Twitch. Sorry, I wasn't in the show earlier. Walmart is out of the N95 masks. I still recommend the N95 masks, but the blue Abso masks are good too. They're the ones the hospitals use. They have a blue side and a white side. Those are good too. You might be able to find some masks at a hospital, but you know, that's your best bet. Okay, guys. Just making sure my feed is coming through on Twitch. It is. Got drop frames going on though. All right. Okie dokie. Let me go ahead and make a few changes here. And Biden is at 9, Warren is at 6, and Buttigieg is at 27. So it looks like Buttigieg could very well win this. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Biden could very well win in the long run. It's actually a curse for anyone to win Iowa. Remember Howard Dean, and when he won and he had this hyena sound? Yeah, it was a sad day for Howard Dean because he had just spent $40 million, the most internet money ever raised by any candidate. And he got out there and he started screaming, and it just was way over the top. It was way over the top. And that $40 million was all spent right there. The scream that doomed him.
That we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? You know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
Okay, so overjubilance in a world that is still pretty much growing into the 21st century. This happened before the turn of the 21st century, so people are getting more more subdued. And I think there's a growing number of concerns that Donald Trump is too mouthy. People are becoming a little bit more conservative in their social behavior. I know that seems odd, but in the 60s, people were a lot more expressive, but now people are more into their iPhones. They don't want to see people screaming. So you got a huge group of ATP supporters in Des Moines. You can go to the Biden corner. I would rather have Biden than Buttigieg. So please put your guys over in the Biden corner. Let's beef him up. I'm more of a moderate. Buttigieg is a CIA agent or working for the CIA or something. And he's so liberal. He thinks it's okay to be Christian and gay. And it just doesn't jive with a lot of people. You know, there are atheists in the room that would prefer it if he was atheist and gay. The Biden corner looks pretty goth, yeah. Well, I'm wearing all black, so what can I say? I have a tuxedo shirt. I'm getting hit really hard right now. DDoS attacks are coming in rather rapidly. Now, this story is very disturbing. The Trump administration is claiming that they're blocking all these emails, dozens of emails about the Ukraine aid freeze. So Trump is feeling so confident that he's going to win the
Justice
acquittal.
Department waited until nearly midnight to admit emails exist about President Trump's role in this freeze. We have CNN crime and justice reporter Caitlin Polance here with us. Caitlin, tell us what these documents reveal.
Well, this is the first formal acknowledgement from the administration that there are emails within the administration showing what the president's decision-making was between June of last year and September of last year. Now, these documents have been withheld from both Congress and the public, and there's been a private group going after them in response to this lawsuit from this private group trying to get access even after the trial's ending. The administration is saying in court that the documents in this category are emails that reflect communications by either the president, the vice president, or the president's immediate advisors regarding presidential decision-making about the scope, duration, and purpose of the hold on military assistance in Ukraine.
So why are we only learning about it now, right?
Right. It's because we have this private lawsuit. Now, the Senate and the House both considered trying to get these documents. The House had subpoenaed for them, and they were unable to get them. They didn't take it to court. And instead, there's been a slow trickle of information coming out about what the administration is refusing to show to Congress during the impeachment trial throughout the entire process. And it's going to continue on. We're still going to see more. And in fact, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said today that in response to this revelation, every single Republican senator voted to endorse the White House cover-up of these potentially important truth-revealing emails. He said, make no mistake, the full truth will eventually come out, and Republicans will have to
Go ahead.
answer for why they were so determined to enable the president to hide it.
Right. They enabled the president to hide it. The Republicans are becoming the de facto obstructionists in America. In fact, the Republican Party is becoming the obstructionist party, working to obstruct justice, obstruct Congress. By not taking witnesses, they've proven that they're not willing to actually have a real trial. They don't want the truth to come out, and the American people are noticing that. You got to move to the Biden corner. Get out of the Bernie corner. Yeah. We want you in the Biden corner. We want to give Biden a better shot than Bernie. Thanks. Bernie's all BS. Biden at least will hold a line, and he has experience, whereas Bernie doesn't have any experience at anything. You know, Bernie didn't work till he was 45 years old. Passengers sprayed with hoses on the runway after flying from a coronavirus epicenter. Whoa, look at that. They literally sprayed them with hoses. It's the same thing they did with the Jew people. Yeah, remember the Jew people during Germany's time? Yeah. Spraying passengers with hoses. Unbelievable. They deliced people that were taken to the concentration camps. White Castles are great. You know, I've always liked White Castle burgers. I understand they can be cause a little discomfort if you eat a whole box full at one sitting. So, but yeah, I think White Castle is a great way to do a diet. Actually, you regulate yourself to one White Castle burger a day. I guarantee you'll lose weight. You're my number one fan in Albania. Thank you. Downtown Phoenix, formerly cleared homeless encampments, is back in business. Yeah, I used to stop at White Castle when I traveled across country. We used to get to the first one in Illinois. I think it was outside of Chicago. Because my family, my mother especially, loved the White Castle burgers.
Okay, I'm recording. Me too. Yeah, I'm the one with
the formerly cleared homeless encampment.
That's what's going to piss them off.
They just cleaned the homeless off of the streets of Phoenix, and then she's driving down, and they're back again.
I mean,
yours is a red light. Is it filming?
I don't know.
don't be. There's nothing to be frightened of. There might be the odd one who throws themselves on the vehicle.
Oh, that's fun.
But all you do, actually, you've just got to be careful they don't try and surround the vehicle. But these are people who are beaten down.
Why don't you just go straight?
These are people who are beaten down. This is not. This is terrible.
Yeah, but I almost want to throw a brick through the Sandy's windshield.
Look at these people. This is horrible.
She's crazy town. It just goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, don't go down there. It's a dead end. Don't go that way.
It's a dead end, all right.
You really don't listen, do you?
Yeah, you don't listen, do you?
Well, I must admit, I'm very surprised.
I don't want to get captured down here.
I'm very surprised.
Are you?
Yeah, and these people are just beaten down. They're not aggressive.
This isn't like driving through Juarez, folks. I mean, Phoenix is still.
So it's good for the video. So this
It's
is
9th Ave and Madison.
9th and Madison. So this was. You're saying, Sandy, this was cleared.
Yes.
Which one do you want to go that way?
Go that way.
I do want to talk to someone.
No.
Well, I'll play more of that later if he does talk to somebody. Okay, so the economy's really doing great according to Donald Trump, right? Dow Jones made a little bit of rebound today, up 143 points, but those people that are homeless, they're not even counted as unemployed with Donald Trump's statistics. They're unemployed, but they're not even counted in the unemployment statistics. Yeah, they're not even factored in. So there's close to 5 million people now in the U.S. that are completely homeless, and the number is growing. They say that the average person is $500 away from being homeless at any given time. Yeah, most people are like 500 away from hitting the streets. What resembles the real economy, complacent and happy that everything's great. I believe that 45% of our population is unemployed. There's 215 million viable people taking out the old people and the children and the illegal aliens. And then you look at the number of people employed or unemployed. Out of that 215 million, 97 million are unemployed. That's 45% unemployment, not 45. Big difference. Yeah, so obviously the news today is driving concerns for the recent live event going on. I just don't believe that the Democrats really address the key issues facing our country. I think that they've lost touch with the voter. Let's look at the numbers. So far, nothing in. Free to send it to us. 2 women fatally shot, toddler wounded at Texas A&M Commerce Residence Hall. Okay. Don't know what to say about that. Well, yeah. Beijing sees no question that Trump is worried about me buying races. Democrats are freaking out about Mike Bloomberg. Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make of that Frank picture you have there. That's inappropriate in the show. And, you know, we're not into that stuff here. Sarah and I enjoyed the game. Yes, pretty good. Nothing. Okay, here we are.
In his new clothes. All right, I was going to get into YouTube, right? Speak for yourself, Medveral. I do not think so. Narc asks. That's a good question. Oh, of course. I think it will be Hillary. I do think she's going to try to be vice president. That's some kind of game. I just finished listening to my second book by Ernest Cline. It was Armada. I like him as an author. He's very good. I really like his books were good. It's gonna help me maybe get back into fiction, reading fiction. I also did listen to another fiction book by Celeste Ng, I guess it is called Everything I Never Told You. That was a I don't know, it was a sad book, emotional book, because it was about a girl who committed suicide, and it was from different perspectives of different members in her family, and it was interesting. So Empire Earth AOC Age of Conquest is a 1990s game, but it doesn't get old. It's always challenging because the primitive AI in it adapts to your gameplay and strategy to challenge you even more. Ooh, that sounds pretty cool. You wish you were my age? Ah, to be that age again. I guess I have a good age. Somebody wrote that, like, they were turning 50 and it was the best year of their life or something, and I'm like, wow. I thought my 40s were the best years of my life so far. I don't know about my 20s and 30s. They just seem to have flashed by without... I got my degree and my career, but that's about it. Isn't that right? It's like, I think that's the right term. Yeah, good point, Medveral. Hello, Tommy. Wow. Cryonics or cryogenics or whatever. And Medveral, you plan to digitalize yourself and live forever in a server dedicated to teacher, I guess, documenting life in Wuhan. Daryl, you think so? Uberization is in operations providing drivers in the Uber example, fact of economic reality. Leave later. I was looking up Uberization, Pirate. What is your point on researching Uberization? Amazon Mechanical Turk is a crowdsourcing marketplace that makes it easier for individuals and businesses to outsource their processes and jobs. Ah. So it's all about the, what do they call it? The something economy, the flex economy, or not that, but basically people picking up side income. And nobody knows. I got it. The point is that these platforms are hiring us to perform small tasks like slaves. Oh, the gig economy. Yeah. The gig economy. Quarters of an onion? Or in math, the quaternions are a number system that extend the complex number. Ooh, they were first described in dimensional space. A feature. Oh, multiplication of two quaternions is non-commutative. Ah, interesting. It's a vector space over the real numbers with the fourth dimension. In comparison, the real numbers have a dimension of 1, the complex numbers have a dimension of 2, and octonions have a dimension of 8. Multiplication of quaternions is associative. It is associative and distributive over vector addition, but it's not commutative. That's pretty cool. Oh, am I all muted? No. Dog, you're right. The problem with the gig economy is, like, people don't have benefits, like health benefits. I wonder if that's what my brother was talking about. He's talking about something like 7-dimensional machines. You can calculate the motion of a sphere or asteroid in 4 dimensions with a simple equation that doesn't involve pages of vector boxes. Yes, the lag is heavy tonight. Maybe it has to do with the cold weather. Thanks, Enu. Is it the jacket, you think? Librarian today. I mean, I started listening to a book called Bored and Brilliant or something like that, and it's talks about how allow ourselves to be bored. Hello, Maxed Out Credit. Welcome back. Okay.
Good. What's it like?
Because I feel fine, other than this one garden bed that is full of daisies, and I want to get rid of the daisies, but I tried digging them out and they're too deeply rooted. So I was thinking of trying to kill them by like covering them with cardboard so that they'll die off and then I could dig them up. But I don't know. You built a solar furnace next to heat the planter stand you made. Nice. Yes, sir. I think your ideas are too clumsy. Yeah. Well, if you mask the daisy bed with the cover and use an above bed.
Okay. You know what the temperature's going to be like tonight?
No, you.
I'll look it up.
Let's look it up.
I'll do that. It's okay.
I think it's going to be cold because it's definitely clear outside.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should probably put that thing on my car.
I'll do that for you right now. Let's just find out what we're at.
We're that or something.
Huh. Okay. I'll turn it
I
off.
heard something click over here. I'll just
Weird.
go off on and then
Try now. Just refresh. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
just always
34
sucks.
degrees right there. That's in Ottawa. Right up here, it's 34.
got it. Oh, that's the other place.
Oh, yeah. Look that one.
I don't know how that one got in there.
And you have to close the seat. Yeah, there we go. Feels like 31. Wow. Yeah. Let's see what the low is.
All right, let's go to.
Yeah, we're just checking our weather pattern here. Way too mild for you guys.
$34, $35, $34.
Feels like
35.
34. Temperature really is going to be above freezing the whole week. Okay.
It
So it's
feels like it's at 10 o'clock on
Okay.
tomorrow. But then it warms back up.
Okay. All right. I'll just go ahead and put that thing on your window.
Yeah, just in case it might be a little freezing. But it says it's like, well, it's no precipitation tonight. Thank you, Zeno. You think it's way too mild for February? Well, one of the things that larger. Hello, True Blue. 39. Well, she probably knows what she's doing. And she probably knows what. How does she keep count? Republican Party to Oh, the river isn't frozen at all? Wow. Huh. It is, yes, is what they have in lieu of a primary. Wow. Not show symptoms. Does it say, or do they even know, or they probably don't know.
Okay, I'll put it on there. All right, it does feel like 31 out there, for sure. All right, thank you. Well, so this coronavirus is growing at a fairly rapid rate. The spread has now doubled to 64 people infected in the U.S. And the death rate's pretty high. Not as high as we originally thought, though. It used to be we said you had 15% chance of dying. It's lower than that, so based on the numbers. David, what's the line in the middle of your forehead? Oh, this section right in here? This is
it's
my...
like, what are you thinking line?
Yeah, and this is nothing compared to Chef Ramsay. It's installed. Right. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. You create a bioengineered vaccine that happens to match the exact same. We need to, look into this. Yeah, you wish. You wish Donald Trump was going to be found guilty. The 2 days, we need to wake up the Democrats to the fact that they have to expose Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham working for Russia. No one in the Democratic Party has mentioned that. Just get that out there. Chances are Lindsey Graham would flip. He doesn't want to be known as a guy working for Russia. You got some freezing going on? Yeah, the signal is really kind of affected today. So it's actually lower than the SARS spread. Staggering.
Huh.
You want to set the YouTube site? I knew that they had a huge block on our site. Anyway, not to belabor the issue, he found a way of, like my most recent YouTube video. Here it is. Thanks, Max. Check the numbers here, and you'll see, and I'll show it for the whole audience to see. My YouTube numbers are hugely censored. It's just unbelievable. He uncovered the numbers. It tells me I have like 6 viewers. It has 618,537 viewers. Now, yeah, some people would argue that that's, Dave, somebody just pasted that up. But no, I believe this wholeheartedly, that Max has uncovered the number of real viewers. He's not that good that he could make that look perfect. The real viewers, I'm getting shown like 6 views on my videos, and I've got 500,000. This is what I've been talking about. Whatever. I've been repeating myself over and over again. UHF viewership is skyrocketed. We're seen by so many people globally that it's not even funny. We have far more viewership than ABC, CBS, and NBC combined. Yeah. And as much as I'd like to brag, I'm not a person that runs around bragging about that stuff. So when I talk, well, that's interesting. The hundreds of views of your show and sell them at the bazaar. You're a huge hit. That's so nice, and thanks for sharing. I'll talk to you later, Sarah. Enjoy your spaghetti. It's hot.
That is David's real hair, Sid Smith.
Yeah. It's the spaghetti's hot, and fix yourself up some lunches for later if you want, with whatever's there.
Okay.
Have as much sauce as you want. I made more sauce than pasta, so.
Oh, God.
And it was full of vegetables, like green peppers and zucchinis and organic onions and all kinds of stuff. I made a vegetable and a tomato sauce, too. Bounty hunters after you? I don't know. People make a lot of money watching our show. I'm a natural, as you know, and partly because both of my parents were very informative and interesting people, and I think could have each had a career in Hollywood if they were years. And she was in the she went to the same college the year before James Dean was discovered. She was the hit the year before James Dean hit the scene at that college. My mother was. And she had an option to pursue acting, and my father kind of said, no, you got kids. You can't be an actress. So that really was a downer for her. But she was really good. I'm sure people have been hacking for a long time, so that's rare. Right, the first like mask. Yeah. And you discovered the same thing. Anomaly occurred on my video, my broccoli video that I did. The numbers, when I see these numbers, I see an element of my family that grew up later. My family left Germany in 1100 AD. Whoever lived past that with my last name, it's on them. I don't take a responsibility by my name of any Nazis. My family moved to America in 1860. No, this is real. This is my hair. You just have to, understand how it's actually sitting on my head. It's a unique, oh, you're balding? How did that happen? Are you on the wrong diet? It could be genetics. There's something you can do, though, and I would recommend taking the coronavirus may not be causing your balding. I think that you maybe consider a multivitamin pill. It helps with male pattern baldness. One multivitamin pill will do wonders every. Yeah, so this is the theory. All these people that were dropping like flies last week were, and now photographs kind of have waned off about the people dying in China. So it's all big hoax to push vaccines. Now I'm not gonna ignore that possibility because some of the videos we've seen could have been hacked. So let's see if we have people dropping like flies here. I'm going to take a look at that. Yeah, the ones that were just dropping like flies kind of shocked me. And I started thinking about it. And yeah, I don't have any on me right now, but people being moved in plastic containers, we saw those. We saw a lady walking down the street with her plastic bag over her and her daughter. We've got live footage of Wuhan. I'm just going to go to something I have in archive here. Now, I'm concerned that being in certain hotspots has come into play. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to talk to the concept here of people just dropping like flies, okay? Normally, when you get the flu, you feel sick and you're like, and you guys have all had the flu. We've all had, I've had a form of the coronavirus. We all feel like we're going to lay down. We're feeling kind of wheezy. We normally sit on a bench. You usually get to a bench before you collapse. These people are just dropping like flies. This person was laying dead, popping like flies. So then I thought, well, there's got to be something to do with their neurology. The neuromechanism is falling down. Something's happening in their brain. People, even when they're struggling to breathe, usually get to a place where they can sit where they're struggling. And they're saying that this is what's strange, is they're saying that this flu-like symptoms hardly even happen, and then all of a sudden you die of pneumonia. I don't know. That just seems a little too quick. There was a live leak of footage recently of the Wuhan photographs. Eight bodies were seen. This one just did a tour of the hospital. There's hardly anybody there. There's very little traffic now. It's one of two things. Either they are trying to fake us with like canned videos that this is a real terrible thing and it's really happening, or the place was completely evacuated, but we have other video of it going all the way. And it's just basically an empty hospital with a couple patients one person, the doctors turn around and say, oh yeah, he expired, he can't breathe anymore. Okay, so this is all very interesting, but again, hardly anybody in the hospital. Well, that was because it was a completely evacuated the city, etc., etc. So you can go in either direction on this. But the idea that people are dropping like flies means there's something going on in their brain. Now, this is not some disease that attacks the brain. It's not like spinal meningitis or neuroencephalitis, where your brain completely goes wonko and boo-boo and you lose oxygen. This is something where pneumonia deprives your brain of oxygen because it clogs all the pores in your lungs with fluid. Pneumonia normally takes 3 weeks to fully develop. Bumblebees were dropping. Birds were dropping when they lit the 5G mast up in the Netherlands about 4 months ago. 299 birds dropped instantly from the so when you hear about things dropping, you instantly think, well, there's something going on with the 5G network. Okay, here's the stats on the 5G network. They're claiming it's so necessary, it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. Max has the printout of the stats. High band 5G will be like T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, 10 times faster than the percent faster than 4G. Yeah, so why implement such a poor performing network and not wait till 6G? Well, why even add a new network at all? That's my point, Max. We've got really good reception with 4G, and why are we pushing all this electricity through the air? Apple has held back on a lot of their wireless charging systems. Why is that? Is it because it's dangerous to the people around them? We don't know. But the possibilities are that these things are really quite dangerous to be around this stuff. I don't know. It's just dropping like flies. 5G network just installed in Wuhan. Now we're seeing him. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems so odd that he keeps pushing himself on people with his mouth and kissing. And it's okay to kiss your granddaughter, I guess, on the lips. I'm not making a big issue about this. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids. I wouldn't know. Here's a Walmart in Wuhan. Okay. And that black woman was not his granddaughter. Everyone's becoming very familiar with Wuhan. Attention shoppers, anyone with the coronavirus, please go to the front of the office for delousing. Attention everyone, attention. So everyone's wearing a mask except for a few, right? These people in Wuhan are wearing all masks. Everyone's wearing masks. So is this fake, Scissor Fight, you think? Fake Walmart pictures from Wuhan? I'm wondering when we should start freaking out here. I take precautions at all times, yes. Good way to get to the front of the line is to pretend to cough. Oh yeah, it would clear the whole store out. This is a high-end Wuhan Walmart, folks. So this is not your average Walmart. This is high-end Walmart. Yeah. Okay, we got a person, Dutch Sense is to talk about Walmart, rather the numbers of corona outbreaks occurring tonight. Good, I like Dutch Sense. I'll add them to the lineup. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been so involved, I turned off my cameras. Oh, I don't have cameras anymore. Oh, good. Okay, good to know. Attention Walmart shoppers, there is a good deal on Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner in... It's not fake, they're just blowing the story out of proportion. Okay, thank you, Scissor Fight. So they really, it's just fear porn they're pushing? Well, I don't want to be the member of fear porn people. Am I pushing fear porn by talking about it? The Young Turks are a group of people that got money from social justice warriors like Bernie Sanders' internet guy. And they've been working directly to create the social justice warriors, the Young Turks. I think they got Move On money, if I'm not mistaken, but they've been getting huge amounts of support from the traditional elitist groups because they're leftists. They're far leftists. They're not centrist like I am. I'm in the middle of the political spectrum, so I'm more than likely going to unite people, whereas the people that get funding are the people on the far left and the far right. You'll notice that about YouTube too. You'll either see far left videos of people making YouTube money, basically YouTube whores, or far right people getting money, YouTube whores on the far right. I know a couple of them personally. I can't stand them. I think they sold out. I don't know. I don't have a family member that I know of who fought in Kosovo. I don't know a lot of those people that are living in Minnesota. Some of them have my name. There are a few David Sponheims out there besides myself. Oh, you're going to have a video for the after show? Excellent. Thank you, Scissor Fight. We'll look forward to seeing that later. Yeah, I'm not really here to freak out. I mean, obviously, Wuhan has got very few people there. They've been evacuated, the whole city. Where they went, you know, you've got to wonder how many people got out before the mayor admitted it was happening in January. They say December it was starting to spread. I never went to Kosovo. No, I have no knowledge of anybody back there either. Now, there are people with my same name that have been in the military. And when doing a background check, you'll meet some pretty badasses out there. But that's not me. I'm a badass who's not in the military. Yeah, apparently some of the people with my name in the past have, you know, been doing some weird things. There's one guy on the internet with my same name who's been suing Citicorp, and I don't even know what that's about. And there's another guy with my same name who died in 2003 who was involved in the Vietnam War. Is a second sergeant in the U.S. Air Force. Yeah, you would never consider me to be a badass. Exactly. And I often wonder why people get so intimidated when I walk near them, you know? I don't have any criminal record. Yeah, people are definitely reacting here. One person was suspected of being infected by the coronavirus in the building she lives. So they believe one person was infected by the virus in the building. Okay, so... No, I don't need to play that right now. The fact that I don't appear to be a badass is really good because people get so intimidated wherever I go, and I don't understand why. It could be my being, my presence. I'm so tall and physically built like a rock. I think that's why they feel imposing. I mean, physically, my body it says, yeah, I'm really strong. So. Or it could be because they feel I'm entitled and I'm white or something. You know, a lot of people look at white people that way. Yeah, like the Terminator, yeah. Yeah, I'm like the stud muffin, the Miss Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. You want, yeah, cowbell? The girly man wants cowbell? So I play cowbell for you. Okay. One moment, please. Queuing up cowbell from primary memory. Patterns, beep. Yeah, I'm having a little latent problem with my computer. It has to click on something twice to get it. Wow. Well, let's be clear. This is one heck of a cow, and it can sure flatulate. Those are greenhouse gases. Every cow produces 42 gallons of greenhouse gas per day. That's like Michelle after a big bean dinner. So, have you seen Barack lately? Oh, man. He's been hitting the crack pipe pretty fast, man. Yeah, I checked Barack Obama out. 2020. He looks bad, man. He looks like he's been hitting the crack pipe every day. I don't know, man, because I'm actually older than Barack Obama by about 2 years. And I'm just getting this, man, you are Asian, man. You are aging really fast. And I don't mean Asian as in you're Asian or Caucasian. I mean you're aging. You jiving, man. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all will get white hair and get your all face all in that wrinkly prune-like face going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's obvious he's having a pretty tough time in his $10 million a year luxury retreat. Look at how young I looked when I did the blackface impersonation video in 2014. I looked like a younger version of Barack Obama. That was me discussing the terrible Sandy Hook event. And as you can see, I looked practically like him. Many of you have enjoyed the show for some time, I know. ATP Nation. We're doing great. But you look at the similarity between my face and his. Now, if they're very similar. You got to admit that I look a lot like them, you know? All right. It does look like claymation. That's a pretty good clip of it, man. You're all right, man. For a white guy, you're all right. You know what I'm saying? It was a great video. The video is still out on YouTube. If you want to check out my hundreds of shows, I've got a site dedicated to cooking very affordably out there. I'm talking feed 10 people for like $5 kind of thing. And you can check it out. It's at the bottom of my run is the blackface video. And I think you have to be 18 or over now. They've made it so that, you know, they want to screen as many people out. I don't know why. I don't say much at all, really. No F words. But they decided it was inappropriate or something. I don't know. Well, let's be clear. But Obama was bad with Ebola. I did an Obama Ebola video that's hilarious. Click on that. It's at the bottom of the run. Anyway, 100 different recipes for you guys to save money on your dinner. Whatever dinner you have. Whatever last meal you have. So that's all good. Passengers were sprayed as they were leaving this plane from some unknown location. As you know, I would have put a travel ban together against the coronavirus and outlawed all travel from China, but Trump hasn't done that. So these people had to be doused with some sort of a, you know, like a delousing thing. When they got off the plane, here they were, all being sprayed. Anyway, that's been going on. It's an Indonesian plane, right? So delousing the plane is kind of like a slight measure, I suppose, highly toxic to the people coming off, and they didn't get their permission, and I'm sure they could probably sue for long-term health damages. Well, you feed $6 or 6 people for $7. That's kind of my upscale level. Do I think that cooking economically is some kind of special skill? No, you could cook feces and probably, you know, save a lot of money. But to cook economically and cook organic food, I can't imagine where you are at. Let me just look into your liver. I'm sensing a large golf ball-sized tumor right below your pancreas. I'm sorry. If you don't know what's going in your mouth, and I teach people how to eat organic, non-GMO whenever possible, if you don't know what's going in your mouth, you could very well likely have a tumor growing in your pancreas. Yeah. Just bear in mind, what goes in your mouth has everything to do with how you feel, despite what doctors tell you. Your mouth is your largest orifice. Well, in case you didn't know, maybe your anus is, but that's probably just you. You hardly ever, you don't make anything that's good for you because you've got a large tumor-sized growth in your colon. Yeah, bye. God, the guy's an idiot over at iVlog. Yeah, I don't use placenta on my face. It's strictly fruit enzyme spray, comprised of Michel Dermaceuticals fruit enzyme spray, along with 10 parts Fountain of Youth water, derived from the source. I don't really know if you don't know anything about your pancreas, you don't need to know, because the thing about the pancreas is when it decides to go, you go. Kind of like Alex Trebek is fighting pancreatic cancer right now. Have you seen him lately? Yeah, so they say that it's not even, you don't want to watch the show because he's not doing too well. He's having a real battle. And I feel bad for him, you know. He does an amazing job and everyone loves him, but a lot of people like to drink sugar water. And sugar water is linked to pancreatic cancer. Some people drink 0-calorie sweetener, which is just as bad as sugar water in a different way. But here he is, battling cancer and still performing every day. It's amazing. But once the pancreas goes, there's really no replacement. They don't offer pancreatic transplants that I know of. Anyways, moving on to more happy thoughts. Well, actually, not so happy thoughts. I'll take that link, Bengalitis. Let me see. Rude homeless guy. Yeah, there's a sad news about Rush Limbaugh. I'll be playing a video tonight. We're going to feature 35 minutes of Rush Limbaugh talking about the president and etc. A lot of you conservative people will love it. Anyway, Rush Limbaugh has lung cancer. He's going to reveal it tonight in the video that I'm going to play. I don't know exactly where, but he has end-stage lung cancer. He's not going to make it. Or if he is, it'll be a miracle, and we'll all be praying for Rush Limbaugh. Spending 9 hours in front of a computer has a 350% increase of testicular cancer. Well, it's good I don't spend 9 hours in front of a computer. I have no computer in front of me. My computer is like 8 feet away with a shielding next to it. There's no radiation coming off my computer at me, and none of my Wi-Fi signals are open. They're all covered with Faraday cages. So I think I'll do okay. But thank you so much for sharing. You realize if you hold a cell phone next to your head, you could get brain cancer. That's something to think about. The World Health Organization has warned people that brain cancer comes, or cell phones contribute to brain cancer, but our government doesn't care enough about us to really stop us from doing that. And then I would normally give everybody a public service announcement saying, my fellow Americans, your body is extremely important. And when you hold a cell phone next to your head, you increase the risk of brain cancer. So when using a cell phone or a cordless phone, I recommend you hold the phone out with the speakerphone on. Even if your kids are talking, have them talk in a closet for privacy. But hold that phone away from your head. Especially don't let your children use a cell phone close to their head before they go to bed. Studies have proven that they lose their REM sleep, that the brain waves are affecting their actual brain function when they sleep. Thank you very much. My onions can smash, no problem, yeah. You can smash your onions. Why would you just chop your onions? Onions are better chopped, Joe. Poor guy, he's working on an Italian dinner to clean out after the binge drinking session last night. You hit the bottle a little hard there last night, Joe. We saw you 2 days ago, getting ready. I don't think, well, lung transplants are possible. So Rush Limbaugh has a chance. Yeah. I believe that maybe he could have new lungs installed. It's possible. I heard that Trump tweeted for the Super Bowl champs before he took it down. He congratulated Casey for winning the Super Bowl. He told him they represented the state of Kansas very well. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't realize that Kansas City is not in Kansas. It's in Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. Poor Trump. He struggles with his brain. You know, he said when he was at Davos just last week, he said to a reporter that he was so proud that America has so many inventors like Edison, who came up with the light bulb and the wheel. He said that Edison discovered the wheel in Kansas City, Missouri. There probably is a Kansas City in Kansas, yeah. It's the largest city in Missouri, Kansas City. Yes. Yeah, you aren't too bright, are you, Zeno? Did you graduate 11th grade, or did you get your GED, or what? 500,000 people live there. 38th most populous city in the United States. That's right. You want to go look for some property in Kansas City? Kansas City, here I come. We look for cheap deals out there in Kansas City. Yeah. Do you think if Bernie wins, Democrats vote will choose Warren? If Bernie wins, Democrats vote, he will choose. Yeah, Bernie could choose Warren as a running mate. Yeah, I can see how that would be a lose-lose for both of them. Yeah, if Bernie were to run with Elizabeth Warren, Donald Trump will definitely win the 2020 election if he's still running. The only one who could beat Donald Trump is Joe Biden. I'm convinced of it. People have a certain trust in having him spend 8 years as our VP. They'd feel confident making that transition. Bernie's a little too scary the way he's never really worked in his life, never held a job. I mean, it's crazy. Bernie never worked till he was 45 years old, and he became like a senator. And now he lives off his revenue from his book about all the things he says he's going to do but never does. I actually never thought I'd say this, but I agreed with Hillary last week when she made those bold statements about Bernie. Nobody likes him, you know. Well, people are having a hard time, really. Nobody can get along with him. He doesn't work with people. He's not really a team player. He's very one-sided. You need a person who's compromising. Trump is very one-sided. Obama was very one-sided. We need a compromiser, a person in the center of the political spectrum, and that would be us. No, Bernie started working when he was 45. I stopped working when I was 50. Thank you. All right. A rude homeless guy doesn't want to move even when asked politely. I'll play that live leak for you later. We got a Walmart in Wuhan. We played that, and that's about it. Hundreds of FEMA buses discovered in a California military base with 200 quarantined. Wow. That's definitely on our list of things we'll play tonight. Yeah. I'll look at that when I get back. Thank you. Okay, I guess we're done there, and I'm going to go feed the cat.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Okay, Amber, coming up. Okay, no, yes, you want to do that.
I never applied to an Ivy League school. I always wondered, suppose I could try to go back to an Ivy League school, but I already have a master's degree, so is it worth it? Yeah, I'm here, so we could talk economics again. That's true. It was pretty interesting. Pirate Salty Dog was actually talking about like the gig economy as a problem earlier. He finished a full year of college. Maybe actually more than a year. But I'm glad I have my degree. Do I need a dress? I don't think so. You can tailor a dress? Okay, good to know. Yep, I definitely believe this is true. Sea level rise is accelerating along the U.S. coastline, scientists warn. This is in the Guardian. Inundation and flooding are steadily becoming more likely worldwide. Rise is being driven by melting of large glaciers. The pace of sea level rise accelerated at nearly all measurement stations along the U.S. coastline in 2019. Scientists warning some of the bleakest scenarios for inundation or flooding are steadily becoming more likely. 32 tide gauge stations and locations along the U.S. coastline, 25 showed a clear acceleration in sea level rise last year. This is according to researchers at the Virginia Institute of Marine Science. No, not really. I don't really. How old are you? Are you religious and elderly? Then maybe I have some widow friends that I could set you up with. You have to be very Christian. The selected measurements are from coastal locations spanning from Maine to Alaska. About 40% of the U.S. population lives in or near coastal areas. The gathering speed of sea level rise is evident even within the space of a year, with water levels at the 25 sites rising at a faster rate in 2019 than in 2018. The highest rate of sea level rise was recorded along the Gulf of Mexico shoreline, with Grand Isle, Louisiana experiencing a 7 or nearly 8 millimeter annual increase, more than double the global average. The Texas locations of Galveston and Rockport had the next largest sea level rise increases. You're 55 and you're Catholic. Would you date a 70-year-old Methodist? Generally speaking, the sea level is rising faster on the U.S. East and Gulf Coast compared with the U.S. West. Probably a decline. What do you think has happened to it? A gradual decline from not getting out and meeting people in real life? Really? How so? Destroyed your life, man. Not really awesome, Carl. None that are single, anyway. The current speed up in sea level rise started around 2013 or 2014, probably caused by ocean dynamics and ice sheet loss. Worldwide, it's being driven by the melting of large glaciers and the thermal expansion of ocean water due to humanly induced global heating. NOAA says the worst case scenario of 8.2, if that would work, but do you support? The original one does not show up very often. Does not show up. I haven't seen him in the chat room in about a year at least. Maybe 2. They believe that these higher sea level curves need to be seriously considered in resilience planning efforts. Oh. Wow. I get my audiobooks from an app called Libby. It's Overdrive Libby. If you Google those 2 names. It's available via public libraries, or you can check with your public library to see if there's another audiobook, and then you can use your library card through the app to check out books, and then you have to return them after a certain amount of time. Place holds on. Also have digital books as well. Yeah. That makes sense, and you're just collecting more money. And then it's set, it self-deletes. It's an interesting app. I like it. Well, I know some people that are retired that are widowed, but they really like people to dress nice, and anyway. I don't know. I just know it works. True Blue. Libby. A lot. Wow. Although sea level has been rising along the west coast, models have been predicting that it will start to rise faster. And report cards from the past 3 years support this idea. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Meta-Nemesis. That's what I use. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. Several U.S. cities like Miami and New York face considerable harm from flooding events. The climate crisis will probably drive more powerful storms. which would exacerbate flooding through storm surge. Ah.
So, what do you think of the Shakira thing that happened?
What about it?
Do you think it was pretty provocative for a 42-year-old woman and a 50-year-old woman to be out there doing that? Wasn't that
I think I should learn how to dance.
No, but I just thought that was pretty amazing for two women who are, fairly older, but they're, really out there.
Older?
Well, they're older than they were when they first started, I should say.
Okay.
You're younger than they are, but the point I'm making is...
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, Shakira is 42, I believe.
I guess I'll look up Shakira's age and Jennifer Lopez. I like their dance floor. I like the show. 43. She was born
1 year younger than you.
She was celebrating her birthday, February 2nd. That was her birthday.
That's right. So she's 1 year older than you are. Yeah.
Yep. And
that's amazing. That was her birthday. But there was this big comment about her, using her tongue in one of the videos, and it went viral.
Yeah.
When she was like, that's actually an Arab chant that women do at parties, at weddings. I've seen them do it. Iranian women do that with their tongue.
You're right. Jennifer Lopez is 50, and
Yeah.
Shakira is. I think they look great.
Yeah.
I don't have her moves down. I think I'm going to go play that video, like work on those moves.
You look great too.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Because I do like to dance. If I could dance like Shakira, wow. I think I'd have to practice a lot. She's got the footwork and the dancing and the moves. She had a series of barely there Versace bodysuits. No, I never have. I didn't know that I was capable of doing that. Yeah, a lot of dancing. A lot of dancing at the halftime show. I think it was great. J-Lo and the Power of 50. 50 years between wins for the Kansas City Chiefs and 50-year-old Jennifer Lopez, whose halftime performance sent social media into something of a meltdown. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I've got to work on that those dancing too, yeah. No, Apex. And that was her daughter singing with her? Wow. It's okay. I agree with your economy, your gig economy issues. Rush Limbaugh announces he has advanced lung cancer. No, True Blue, I never did. Wow, Fairbite. Wow. I'm sorry that happened to your uncle. Condolences. I don't know, True Blue. I don't know. Hello, Bra Lee. It says a second monarch butterfly conservationist has been found dead in Mexico. 2 of them were found dead? Wow. I'm sorry, Ace Spade. It does seem like our stream is freezing tonight. A little bit. That's probably to be expected, happy hour. Oh, according to Salon, here's a headline. Palestinians cut all ties with U.S. and Israel over the arrogance of Jared Kushner's peace deal. Uh-huh.
Okay, you can take off.
Okay.
You can take the night off. You worked so hard today. Enjoy.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening.
Okay.
Thank you so much for all that effort. And yeah. Well, the whole idea that was like a constant twerking activity that was going on stage, and these women are so physically active for their age.
They're great dancers.
It's amazing. Yeah, the dancing was really exciting, and the choreography was incredible. So from that standpoint, they brought back the musical, right? Hey there, bruh. You know, I don't talk about our personal life here in the show. It's just, we keep it that way. That's how we keep our life separate. Yeah, enjoy some rest. Yeah, Disney paid $75 million for worldwide movie rights to Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton. Wow, that's a big film acquisition.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess they're getting ready for their channel too. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm happy with Netflix and Prime. I thought they were really amazing, and they both look beautiful. Both the ladies look beautiful, and I think it was an incredible embrace with the Hispanic culture that's now very strong in America right now. It really is. Latina culture has become the big thing down in Los Angeles, and of course the NFL, the NFL actually had a couple games in Mexico this past year, and they're looking for maybe a Mexican league competing in the NFL, which is a very interesting concept. Yeah. Okay, Dave, it took me 30 minutes and 12 reloads to get into the show tonight. Wow. Amazing. Mark is really censoring you. I'm sorry to hear that, Ace Spade. Oh, really? Firestick has a show called Cinema HD? Really? Good to know. We don't have a Firestick. We have a Roku. Everybody pronounces it different. Rico, Roku, Rico, Reiko. I think Roku is the correct pronunciation. Yes.
Are we gonna
Yeah.
a shower or a bath?
I would take a hot whatever. Yeah, whatever you
I'll
want.
take a bath.
Go for it. Definitely, enjoy the hot water. That's for sure. And it keeps the room warm too. It's really cold out there.
Yeah.
Bath would be good. Showers don't save energy. Baths will save the energy in the room. You keep the water in there until it gets lukewarm, and you preserve the energy. It's actually a better use of hot water, is a bath.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go do that.
All right, thank you. Well, thanks for helping out
You
tonight.
had your dinner.
Yeah, I'm all set. That was really good sauce.
Yeah, great sauce.
It's like a carbonara taste. I really like that. I stewed it. I simmered it for about an hour on the stove. It got kind of thickening agent. It thickens when it simmers. No anchovies, no. I don't recommend using anchovies. They're too salty. Yes, you could cuddle with someone under your covers. Body heat will keep you warm, yeah. And homeless people could actually rent their bodies out for people that want to stay warm in the upcoming zombie apocalypse, Kind of a bacon carbonara, but more of just a carbonara taste. The word carbonara comes to mind. I'm very romantic. In fact, I'm developing a blow-up doll called the Spooner, where you can spoon with somebody who looks just like me. Spooner. You know what's really weird? The agency, the CDC, is calling off the HIV vaccine trial at a time when we've got a need for it. I mean, how many of you are HIV positive and carrying AIDS? Press 1. Be like Magic Johnson and still live your whole life normally. An HIV vaccine is essential to end the global pandemic. It's weird because this coronavirus is very similar to the HIV viruses. They say it's man-made like HIV. And we hope this vaccine candidate would work, a U.S. health agency said Monday. Regrettably, it does not. Without the clinical trial in South Africa was shut down. The vaccine was not found to be effective in preventing the spread of the virus that causes AIDS. So wait a second, they've been developing this corona vaccine for 12 years, but they're still a year away from developing it? Nice. No, the Spooner will be available for use anywhere in the world. The Spooner will be downloadable. Fully inflatable, biodegradable. That's what I want to. I'm working on the fully inflatable, biodegradable, so it doesn't add to the plastic waste on the planet. But when you're done spooning with it, after a long period of time, it eventually just disintegrates into dust, carbon dust. No, we're not in any way relating coronavirus with the Corona beer. Two separate things. Yeah, Howie, you were kept out tonight. Mark Mark censored you. I know. Howie finally got in and says, Dave, my stream is FUBAR. Whatever that means. You don't like the coronavirus? Let's talk about the injustices of the world. Yeah, you're right. Let's talk about Trump and what a horrible president he's been. Oh, you don't really want to talk about that? Let's talk about injustice. Okay, let's focus on that. Trump didn't do anything about the coronavirus as it relates to China. He hasn't stopped anyone from coming into the United States. Here we are. There they are. They are coming here. So now we have the potential risk of anyone coming to a Chinese restaurant in your area and you could get infected. So I canceled my trip to the Chinese restaurant. No, there won't be any lubricant on it. It's strictly a warming pad with a some sort of a thermomat which doesn't dehydrate you. Like the thermopad that draws moisture from the air at the same time it cuddles you. No, your numbers are wrong. Trump is the least popular president of all times. The fanatics that love him, who are brain dead and suffering from Trump-tarditis, they're the ones that love him, and they all think that he's the most popular guy, and that would be you. The rest of us consider him a joke and a shame and almost a sham of a president. It's really cost us. His endless tweeting is over the top. You Republicans somehow think you're stopping the deep state, and he can't even prosecute one person. I mean, give me a... Well, I can't say that. It's trademarked. I can't say give me a break, technically, because John Stossel owns that trademark. Thailand's seafood slaves, human trafficking, slavery, and murder in Kantong fishing industry. Wow. Watch video. Shocking. Seafood slaves, award-winning. This looks like a good movie. Okay, it's downloading. Can Joe appoint his son Hunter? Yes, he can. Hunter could be a secretary of cocaine. Okay, suffice to say, I'll look at this later when I have more time. I'm currently focused on the next 2 hours of nonstop talking. We have a constant need to maintain discussion here. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, much better. Okay. Very nice. That's a good paste up too. Yeah, you got better paste ups than the other guy. All right, everybody's faking everybody out in this world of the fake news. Endless, back and forth. One guy says one thing, another guy says the other thing, and anything can be faked. Predict Buttigieg is going to win it, kind of like Howard Dean won it, and then they end up losing it in the long run. Yeah, I predict a win for Buttigieg, and as soon as he can come out of the closet as an atheist, that'd be great. But anybody who recites Christian Bible verse and talks about his gay sex is just not exactly going to win it in my book. I mean, I don't know how other people think, but it doesn't play out in my mind. I would totally get it if he was an atheist and said, hey, God, according to him, there's no God. And you're going to burn in hell anyway, so why not live it up and have gay sex every day? That's what an atheist would say. But a Christian man, a pious man like he pretends to be, oh my God, he's got the power. Oh, what? Oh, I'm so sorry, soul child. Scan was not good. I'm sorry. Well, you know, you've been battling a lot of things every day. Daughters and women by their body part. You know, that's the thing. You know, a lot of Christians are, you know, are gay, and then they repent for their sins, then they go back to being gay. I don't know. I mean, the revolving door of sin and repent, it doesn't cut it for me. It's not my sense of what a religious thought would be. I'm not religious, so I can't really judge. But I don't believe in being hypocritical either. Okay, let's get back to what really matters. Get back, Puppy Shack. You bet on the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes win, and they won against the... Yeah, and so you won? Really? Congratulations on your winnings. All right. My tweets. Let's see. I had one tweet that was just hilarious. This is great. I'll play it for you. Watch this confrontation.
Sir, can I ask you a question? Hi. Why do you think that Donald Trump's a sexual predator?
He admitted to being a sexual predator.
He did?
Yeah.
When? When did he admit that?
Do you live in a cave, lady?
When did he admit that he was a sexual predator? Do you know what a predator is?
When he said he grabbed women by the pussy.
Oh, that's a predator?
Grab.
Somebody said, Dave, what, do you live under a rock? Yeah. Yeah, the Super Bowl was yesterday. Yeah, I know. I went to it. I went to my 4K screen. Wow.
Women by the pussies and thinks that he has every right to do it.
Don't get in my face.
I'll get it in your face.
You will not get in my face.
You're so goddamn dumb.
Oh, okay. I'm dumb.
You're dumb. You don't know.
Look at you. Look at you.
You don't even know he said that.
I know he said that.
You are stupid.
He said that to a guy on a hot mic.
Stupid.
I'm not stupid.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
How many
So listen.
women have filed suit against him for
I
grabbing
have
him?
no idea how many women
Well,
filed
why
suit against Bill
Why
Clinton.
are you defending Trump if you don't have no idea?
I will defend Trump till the day I die.
Well, you're a pig.
Well, what?
A pig.
A pig? I'm a pig. Okay, what's your name, sir?
None of you.
Yeah, well, let's see. Ed and Mary, Penn State. Okay, because I'm going to send this to Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr.
Good.
And tell him that you're...
And tell Donald Trump to come down here. I want to punch him right in the nose.
You won't punch him in the nose.
I would punch him right
Would
in
you
the
really?
nose.
Okay, well, I'll tell him.
Tell him.
I'll tell him that you say he's a sexual predator.
He's a pig.
And that he's a bigot and a racist.
Bigot, a racist, and he's a pig.
And that you sit out on the middle of the...
Here's the paper. They're going to take pictures. You want your picture?
Yeah, take a picture of this guy.
She thinks I'm crazy.
I think that you shouldn't be able to say that about the President of the United States.
Yes, he can. He sure can.
That he's the President of the United States. Where are you guys from?
Okay. That went viral today. And one guy said this guy is more of a patriot than the folks harassing him at hashtag Trump's guilty. Anyway, I thought I'd retweet that today. That was fun. I have no problem with him expressing himself. If he were to say that about me, I'm open to freedom of speech. I really am. But Trump has not answered to any of the accusations of adultery that he's engaged in. He's never made that contact with the American people and said, hey, I did something very bad with Stormy Daniels, but I learned my lesson. I'm very sorry. He's never said that, not even to his wife. Unrepentant adulterer. That would be Donald Trump. Karen McDougal claimed they were in a relationship for 8 months and he tried to throw money at her when they first met. She felt totally put off. She was a penthouse playmate. I mean, she's not like a prostitute. Imagine throwing money at a playmate, a calendar holder. I mean, it's like a total insult to her. And he never admitted he had many sex encounters with her. Video captures a man body slammed by a Chicago police officer. I'm just saying, man. I mean, if the president's going to be doing some hanky-panky, he better tell his wife, Melania, I'm sorry. Otherwise...
The Village's news? All right. Because, see, I'm going to send this to put it on Twitter.
Otherwise, you know, a lot of women wouldn't let their husbands back in the house. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of women that would say, not if you're going to cheat on me. This is over. Poor Melania. You know, I tried to hashtag free Melania today, and they got rid of the hashtag free Melania. I was never in a porno. You're insane. I've never had to do anything illegal or unethical. I'm one of the purest people walking the face of the earth, aside from you, of course, whoever you are. All right, let's take a look at this violent video of a man being slammed to the ground by a Chicago police officer. Its time has come to expose this. You got a 10-minute video of this. This is interesting. Yes. Warning. Could be violent. Oh my God. That's a body slam on a curb. Oh my God. Oh, that's insane. They just curbed him. Oh, this is insane. You just saw Chicago PD get curbed this guy. Okay, we'll look at this later. That was extremely disturbing. He just got curbed. It's an old video. You've been around the road. Yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, I'll play it later. Thank you, Pirate Salty Dog. Scientific papers last year disputed climate alarm. Oh yeah. I'm of the belief that there is a concerted effort by the liberals to push cap and trade legislation, which I don't support. And Donald Trump has not come out against it. Nor has he come out against carbon point legislation. Now, you Republicans can deny climate change all you want. We know they're manipulating the weather to create this effect. But they're also not really clear on what the effect is. The Climate Gate didn't even accomplish covering the period from 1890 to 1950. When they analyzed the data, they missed that period, which is a very hot period in American history, or in the world's history. We've had thermometers for many years checking the weather, so it's not like we just picked this up. This has been going on way into the well before the 1890s. So we know that weather did get very hot. They didn't add that to the statistic. Thank you. Got that too. Very good. Nice. So yeah, it's kind of a downer for a lot of people who are dealing with this coronavirus thing. But Scissorfight believes that, and he and many others over at 153 believe that.
Just moments ago, health officials in California reported
They believe that this is being over-dramatized, like fear porn. You want to play a little Mr. Right? Okay, we got a short request for Mr. Right, folks. Some people like to take a break and use this chance to, get themselves right. When I'm Mr. Right. right, some of you are really getting in the mood now, having that momentary kick when you feel like you got it all under control. It's that quick feeling of, hey, that's cool. Everything's restored now. The coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan, what's going on could very well be hype as well as truth. We're going to try to analyze that tonight. Francis is not the official pope. As you know, Catholic dictum specifically states that we could only have one pope, and Pope Benedict is the one. You know that. We've got an avid Catholic person over there every night. I wouldn't doubt he's like Opus Dei or something. I know. The battle between Benedict and Pope Francis. Yeah, so a lot of you are Catholics. You can certainly, express yourself if you are, in fact, a follower of that church. You can also be here if you're a Mormon, a Muslim. And we even accommodate some of you who believe that, Satan is... No, we don't like Satanists here. But if you do support Pope Benedict, you are supporting a guy with some severely weird looks and facial features and sharpened teeth. But having two popes is very confusing for many Catholics. You're going through a lot of trauma right now. Hi, welcome to Catholic relationship therapy, where you learn to become mated with the one who you are equally yoked with. Yes. You will share the same genetic markers with that person. I met a couple of 29, 30-year-old Catholic virgins when I was younger. Very weird, strange group of people. It was in a metropolitan area, Los Angeles, California. And they're so serious about their virginity that, and many of you are incels, and you're just getting to know each other. You're waiting for that first person because you're afraid of getting some disease. So it's not unlike the Catholic guilt thing that was going on. I hear you. That's what you keep pointing to. I know. Many people believe that there's been some sort of a insurrection within the Catholic Church to bring the head of the Jesuit, the military arm of the Catholic Church, to the forefront, to overtake Benedict's power and reign. I didn't see the movie Two Popes. Dave, what's happening with whatever? The Caucasus? We're going to go back to the Caucasus right now on YouTube, but I'll set that up in just a second. Let me finish off a portion of this video. I want to check it out. This is a fairly long video. It's going to be discussing all the different aspects of the coronavirus, from what we know and what we don't know. It'll be coming up later tonight at 10 o'clock.
9th confirmed case of coronavirus here in the U.S. So far, the deadly sickness has killed 305 people. The Philippines reporting the only death outside of China. Around the world, there are more than 14,000 possible cases. Strict new travel restrictions took effect across the country overnight, requiring anyone arriving from mainland China to undergo additional screening. The threat of the deadly virus spreading across the tri-state area has a lot of people worried tonight. The deadly virus spreading across the tri-state area. The deadly sickness has killed.
New York now joining a list of 37 states investigating suspected cases.
Of the 12 suspected New York cases of coronavirus sent to the CDC for testing, 11 have come back negative. The 12th is still pending.
We will promptly bring that attention to New Yorkers. It's also an opportunity for me to remind New Yorkers that the symptoms that can be consistent with the coronavirus are also the ones that are consistent with influenza. And so this flu season is a very strong and heavy flu season, and it's not too late to get your flu shot. Flu season, and it's not too late. And it's not too late to get your flu shot.
Okay. Here is the irony of the whole thing. Flu shots are not ideal for any of these flu viruses. A flu vaccine can only deal with one particular flu virus. This coronavirus is unique, so why get your flu shot? So here, the real truth, the underbelly of propaganda is beginning to show its ugly face, trying to get us all to take our flu shot. Haven't they been doing this for the Zika virus, the avian flu virus? Every virus that comes along, they keep doing the push campaign. It's just business as usual, more propaganda. But there may be truth to the flu virus spreading from China where people are dying, no question about it. But actually they're dying, less victims were occurring. Remember SARS? No one knows about it anymore, but it's pretty much gone. But we're dealing with another updated virus map here. U.S. and Canada tests for 64 cases. So there you have it. Right. There's 1 in Washington, 3 California. 10 have shown up in Lakewood, Colorado. Patient is under isolation at a hospital. Confirmed Chicago, Ontario, 1 woman, 2, 7 people in St. Paul, Minnesota now, 8 in Michigan, 6 in New York, and 9 in North Carolina, 5 in Tennessee. They've isolated to these states and 4 in Texas. Well, they started the flu shot push a long time ago, but they've been giving them away because they don't know what to do with them. There's so many of them. A lot of that came from Barack Obama's funding. He and Jim Talent, Senator Jim Talent, worked together in a bipartisan fashion back over 12 years ago, 15 years ago, to fund the antivirus campaign. Vaccines were boosted for $26 billion in federal funding. And those companies already got paid, and they want to make another profit on those vaccines again, or pass them over to the government with they're just moving them around. I seriously don't think they tailor each vaccine to the specific flu, and they can't technically. There's a lot of flu viruses out there, so they can only come up with one. It's like playing Keno. I mean, your chances of winning are pretty low. Boeing chemtrail patent, contrails busted. Okay, this is mirrored from a Fallout Shelter video on YouTube. Excellent. We'll bring that to you tonight. Thanks for that. A lot of things are getting suppressed on YouTube. And what 153 News does is offer as an alternative to the mainstream media censorship that's been happening. 153news.net is a great way to get alternative views. And we have a website constructed. I created this magazine dedicated to all the links I have received from Scissor Fight. But the network itself is great to go to too. But I've got an actual link to see all the videos we played from that source. Wow. We've got pretty... So maybe Twitch isn't really a good fit for us. Yeah, it seems like I'm having problems over there every night. Do you think Bernie made a mistake with running as a Democrat and calculated his risks, though? Because he's willing to work for money. He's already taken 2 $600,000 houses out of the deal from 2016. And he's made a lot of money on his book sales. He's bought 2 $600,000 houses. He has 3 houses now. And 1 Audi R8 valued at $175,000. It's a sports car. One is in the CIA, working for McKinsey Group, a public relations firm doing stealth operations for the CIA. And now they come up with this guy, and he can't talk about his work there. Pete Buttigieg looks to me very much like a guy who's had everything handed to him on a platter. He must have people in high places that pushed him there. Because he didn't really, pitch fair bite. No, I never was. Yeah, but $175,000 for a new Audi R8, and he was driving a new Audi R8, Bernie was. Maybe he got a newer one this year. You will see me banning people in the show. It's just a regular thing. We have to flush people who don't belong here out of the show. In case you missed last night's halftime show, oh, there you go. Here we go. A compilation of Shakira and J-Lo together on stage. Here it is in its entirety. That's hilarious. You know, one thing I love about Hispanic or the Latino culture is that they're so expressive and they don't mind. I wouldn't doubt that Putin wants to be in the race now that he owns Donald Trump. I wouldn't doubt he wants to run as a president here too. Yeah, I could imagine Vladimir Putin running on the Democratic ticket under the communist. I mean, I'm in the Democratic Party. Did I say communist? Oh, sorry. That's why the only guy in the Democrats I would even begin to see as a possible good challenge against Trump would be Biden. As much as he's confused when he talks and he babbles quite a bit. He has been known to make weird statements like telling a 13-year-old girl how horny he was.
Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's the morning pervy here as he leans in for a kiss.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, come on, slide in here.
Slide in there? You mean lubricated? That's kind of weird. Slide in here. Anyway, that was pretty weird when he said that. And, you know, that's about the most horrible thing he's done. Today he was seen kissing his daughter at the Iowa caucuses. Or, excuse me, his granddaughter. Yeah, it's the thing we led with today. Yeah, I think, therefore I am. Slide in here. It is disturbing, Jessica. Wasn't it disturbing to hear him talk to a 13-year-old that way? Yeah, so he doesn't, but believe me, that's how bad the Democrats are when I have to actually say that Biden is the best they've got. It does not say a lot for the other ill-repute liars. Bernie the Moocher, Elizabeth the liar, and Buttigieg the hypocrite. Yeah, it's just, it goes on, and Amy Klobuchar taking my ideas. Oh, really? Thank you. Thanks. Come on, slide in here. Let's see if we can get Mr. Biden with his daughter here. Let's see. No, here it is. There she is. And he kisses his granddaughter on the lips during the Iowa rally. And some people are acting like this is kind of weird, you know? Okay, this is Biden with his granddaughter. You can't unsee it now that you have to. Let's take a look at it. It'll play in just a second. Seconds up. Yeah. You can't get Vaughn to work for you, Jessica? Yeah. It's bad for everybody. I'm having a hard time just playing this. Okay, Joe. Here we go. His granddaughter. And I don't know. It's perfectly normal for a granddaughter to, well, is it? I don't know. It's just, it would kind of, I've never seen it. No, we just missed it.
Finnegan Biden here.
Okay. I don't know. Grandpa and Kissy Kissy. This is the most they've got on Biden. That and the 13-year-old girl. That's about. Yeah. While the world looks in, are we overly xenophobic about older men and younger children and grandchildren? I don't know. I'm not a father or a grandfather. I don't know. I don't even know what I would do if I had a daughter. When it comes to just standing next to her and in public, I would be very hesitant to even get close because of all the concerns everyone has. I would be more standoffish. I just am in general. But Biden grew up in a very affectionate family. He's a very expressive person. He's had a lot of things going his way over his lifetime where he's battled tremendous adversity. So thinking for a second that it's improper to kiss your granddaughter, I don't know. Joe, what do you think?
I can't talk. What do I do?
Just don't talk. That's your best. Just don't talk. Even Tom Hanks refused to play Biden in a movie made about him. Well, it's funny how Tom Hanks didn't refuse to play Mr. Rogers. Now, I never thought Mr. Rogers was a pedophile. But now that Tom Hanks played it, I'm beginning to wonder. It's just that the way he chose to be in a movie without having a 5-year background check just bothers me. You know? Everybody in Hollywood now have to have a 5-year background check when playing opposite children. And when Tom didn't have his background checked, it's like, what's going on, Tom? Why would you take that role? Would you like to be my neighbor? But like Tom, Joe doesn't have anything bad against his record. Tom's got a really weird collection on Twitter of gloves and shoes. Very strange things. Tom Hanks' Twitter feed has a collection. He has actually a photographic collection of over 200 images, single shoes. And people are like, what? What's this all about? Here's one of the tweets from Tom Hanks. This is from Tom Hanks' official tweet location. Poor little shoe, little kid shoe, Hanks. Now, I'd be fine if this was just one image, but he's got hundreds of these images of individual pictures of lone shoes. What's he really saying? I mean, is he talking about children being abducted? I mean, why would Tom Hanks do that? Talk about that stuff. It's just like very elusive and very weird and strange timing with his video or his new movie on Mr. Rogers. So can we really jump to conclusions about Biden? I don't think so. Until we see something substantive, heck, the amount of liberty we're giving Donald Trump with his multiple extramarital affairs and adultery and unrepentant adultery, how could we possibly work Joe over with a finer tooth comb than I just gave you? It's not all fake, no. There are some things that are true, like our Constitution, the last vestige of hope you have on this earth. This is not all rigged, no. This was written by our forefathers to protect us. That's why I keep it in plastic. You know how old this is? It's like 300 years old. Almost. Actually, that's a copy of a copy. No, it is rigged. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not all rigged. Okay, when you say it's all rigged, that's where I jump off. We have 326 million Americans right now. Yeah, it's like a signature. Exactly. The Tom Hanks shoe image thing. Yeah, it's like, why is Tom Hanks so into solo shoes? And they're all different shoes or single gloves. It's very weird. Ah, yes. Chicks Who Love Guns from Jackie Brown. Well, we'll have to take a look at this tonight. Yeah. It's a pro-gun rally thing. Chicks Who Love Guns. Okay. Well, I can't play it now, but I'll play it, since I haven't seen it under the non-recorded broadcast. Yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait to have that fun. But right now I have to endure this experience of human trafficking and slavery in the Kantang fishing industry. Looks good. Private sector initiatives and government controls. They would torture and murder the fishers, then throw them into the sea. They abused the crew in many ways, beating, hitting, and killing out on the ocean. I witnessed murder with my own eyes, this person said. And he escaped one of those cells they keep people in. Unbelievable. Some Thai officials are complicit in trafficking crimes, and corruption continues to undermine anti-trafficking efforts. Wow. Whenever I came back to port, they told me I owed them $20,000 or $30,000, or equivalent of $558 to $800. I couldn't ask why. They would beat me. Any one of them would have killed me. So I didn't ask. I've seen beatings and killings before, so I didn't dare ask. Wow. Living under constant fear, these people working in the Thailand seafood industry. Well, if you're praying for the next conclave and the truth to prevail, then maybe you want to ask the pontiff if they'd like me to be their pope. Yeah. Put my name in the running. Thanks. I can move from non-priest to pope within the vote of the conclave. We can restore the church to its original being. I myself have dropped from Catholicism over the many years because of, not to mention the inconsistencies and hypocrisy I encountered, but the most important piece of conspiratorial evidence of something going wrong in the church, the Catholic Church, would be the new building they created. The snakehead. Yeah, the Vatican took on this new building they constructed. It looks just like the head of a snake. Isn't it amazing? Not too dissimilar from a snake. And then you look at the building itself, just like the head of a snake. So, very strange. And then, of course, the interior design has these pictures of what appears to be images of Lucifer with demons around it. And the pontiff sits at the center of this. And you got to wonder, I'll talk about that in a second, William. You've got to wonder if it's intentional that they don't have a cross in the main building anymore. There's no crucifix in the main building. So all these things really add to the questioning a lot of Catholics have about where the church stands right now. Now, the 13th Amendment that's been forgotten, William Shatner brought up something very powerful. Thank you, whoever you are. And now for something completely different. Yeah, I got that in the lineup, Howie. You don't have to keep posting it. I'll play it later. Right. Well, here's the deal. The 13th Amendment prior to the Civil War actually was passed and was the law of the land for about 45 years. That prior to the 1860s, the 13th Amendment talked about anyone who was a lawyer could not run for politics. Now, you probably know that over 60% of our politicians today are attorneys. Well, back prior to the Civil War, that was not allowed because attorneys hold allegiance to two separate organizations. One, the United States, if they're a citizen, and two, the bar, which is run out of England, which is not part of a United States government. So, and our government was set up at that time to keep that separate. And the problem with people who would pass the bar, they could actually, and lo and behold comes an attorney who runs for president, Abraham Lincoln, and right after the Civil War, they banished the 13th Amendment and replaced it with the Anti-Slavery Amendment. So it is a very interesting piece of record. There are books that are from the teachings of that era, school books from the 1820s that have the 13th Amendment in it. So we know for a fact it definitely prohibited attorneys from running for public office. So it was a very strong move to prevent corruption in our country, and it was one of the first efforts, which gradually was erased, and now we have so much corruption in our government. You've got people like Pelosi. She's not an attorney, I don't believe. But you've got people who are corrupt, who have attorney backgrounds. Made a lot of money. They make money on the office. So it's all about corruption with these people. Whereas if we had the old 13th Amendment, we would prevent that. Greek God has something. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Take a look at these two people walking down the street, nearly colliding and getting away with their life with a truck careening at them. Unbelievable. Look at this. And they survived. Oh. Whoa. That is intense. Amazing. You're asking Mother Mary to come to your rescue? Hey, Zetterbeard. Woo! Wuhan! Adolf Hitler, we don't really recommend you coming into the show. You've been muted. Wuhan! And what do you have? Another one Greek God has. It's too hard for me to understand. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather talk about Rush Limbaugh being diagnosed with lung cancer. Yeah, it's pretty serious. Everyone's liked Rush over the years, and he's made a 35-minute video today talking about his ailment and other things. We're going to play this for you tonight in the video hour.
Thank you. I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
It's a powerful visual, and I didn't read early enough the text, the graphic over the beginning said Alice Johnson was sentenced to serve life in prison for a non-violent drug offense.
I don't know. The Iowa caucuses, if they're putting Putin as number one, I would not doubt that. Many of them have become communist. The Democratic Party is ostensibly Democratic Socialist Party now, and Biden's the last Democrat out there standing for the Democratic Party. I left the Democratic Party because it was moving too far to the left, and I would invite Biden to join me in the center and have him leave the Democratic Party and become a centrist. I think it'd be a smart move for him. If anything, that would reframe his entire campaign, or Bloomberg could do that. But Bloomberg is a little too in favor of gun control. I don't support that. I don't think a centrist candidate really can support gun control. We have to find common ground, and there's no way people on the right are going to find gun control okay. Corey, unfortunately, you don't belong here either. We don't need scumbag attorneys in our show. Not that you are, but if you were, you don't belong here. Thanks, Corey. We already know how bad you talk. You're no Martin Luther King, okay? I have a dream that Cory Booker can speak like a man and show some balls. Coronavirus 33, YouTube. What do you got?
Bill Gates predicted coronavirus outbreak.
Bill Gates. Yeah. Isn't that weird that Bill Gates predicted this? It's finally getting around. Would you be able to restore the original 13th Amendment when you're elected? I would work toward it. We'd have to make it a new amendment, though. As president, I would work toward it. Placing it out there. We can't replace the freedom of slavery from slavery amendment, but we can certainly build a new one. I'm thinking it could be attached to an ERA. We could build it into that amendment or make two. I support an equal rights amendment. Women around the country and around the nation have obviously been looking for similar salaries for men doing the same job. I see no reason why women shouldn't have an ERA. But adding LGBTQ to it, no. No, we don't have to make a gender-biased or non-biased amendment. That's ridiculous. But an equal rights amendment for men and women? Because usually you fall into one or the other category. Unless, of course, you are Harvey Weinstein. Did you hear about the new testimony? The woman who, the young woman who claimed that he groomed her and raped her? The Weinstein accuser, yeah, this is bizarre testimony, and I'll bring it up to you. Truth is stranger than fiction, really. And I'll get to that PK1 in just a second. But a Weinstein accuser, Jessica Mann, testified in a Manhattan courtroom last Friday that Harvey Weinstein engaged in forced oral sex and raped her in early 2013 and alleged that she was in a twisted relationship with him because of her sexual inexperience. As Mann tearily described alleged incidences, she also made the bombshell claim that Weinstein doesn't have testicles and appeared to have a vagina, saying she thought he was an intersex the first time she saw him naked. Okay, this is quite a twist in the Harvey Weinstein alleged raping case. He could be a hermaphrodite. It's not unusual to be a hermaphrodite. Do-do-do-do-do-do. He could have a penis and a vagina. 1 out of 10,000 people have the beginning precursors to this type of problem. Are you one of those? Because people don't normally talk about the fact that they have a vagina and a penis. But isn't that weird? Yeah. Here's the link to this Jessica Mann Harvey Weinstein trial testimony. They're still working on prosecuting this guy. He's evading prosecution. Yeah, Zetterbeard, the bath soup origin, it doesn't seem likely. It's more likely that the markers in this coronavirus actually are man-made. Geneticists have looked at this already under an electron microscope and said this is the same type of man-made markers that are also in the HIV series, which is they also believe is man-made. Yeah, so they've been genetically engineering viruses since 1997, and the government doesn't seem to have a lid on this, especially the Chinese government. So when you were on drugs, you had a penis and a vagina? Really? You had an acid trip where you thought you had both? Interesting. So you were having auto sex with yourself? It's a super duper virus in their mind because it's spreading fairly rapidly and killing people, but it's not as bad as the SARS virus, ironically. And SARS is almost completely non-existent now. Yeah, and you'd think soup made with boiling water would kill a virus, but these viruses have 5 layers on them. Yeah. And then there's another theory, a conspiracy theory, that suggests that there could be this could be similar, or possibly the cause of the deaths may be the 5G network. Because remember we saw pictures of people dropping like flies? Well, that's what flies do when they get near a 5G mast. They drop dead right there. So if people are encountering the 5G intersections of the brand new system they just tested in Wuhan, then we have a potential problem where people are literally being fried and they're covering it up with a virus. That's also possible. It could be Xi Jinping is trying to limit the population with a virus because he willfully ignored requests to move that bioweapons lab from Wuhan. Yeah, he willfully ignored the requests of 2 different agencies to get that away from the people. So it could be that too.
Death of 33 million people in 2018. China lockdown spreads to 33 million people as coronavirus death toll rises. Chinese doctors released chest x-rays of a 33-year-old coronavirus patient that showed what the illness looks like in her lungs. It is likely that the primary reservoir for the virus is bats. Of 585 animal specimens taken from the market, 33 showed evidence of 2019 nCoV. on Monday, Chinese state media reported that 585 samples taken at the market yielded 33 positive matches for the coronavirus's DNA. Sri Lanka flies out 33 citizens from coronavirus epicenter in Wuhan, China. A 33-year-old man from Wuhan had been admitted to hospital with symptoms, but tests proved he did not have the virus. While health officials have said they think the coronavirus will be milder than SARS, Wuhan has been quarantined, and at least 12 other cities have imposed travel restrictions affecting an estimated 33 million people. Clinical presentation, diagnostic findings, and outcome of adult horses with equine coronavirus infection at a veterinary teaching hospital. 33 cases between 2012 and 2018. A report published in January 30th describes a 33-year-old previously healthy man who developed a sore throat, chills and muscle aches on January 24 and soon developed a fever.
Okay, so this evidence of 33 popping up throughout the entire series is what he's referring to. And when you look at something that pops up over and over again, the number 33, you look into the meaning of it. Some people think that there's something to the meaning of it. And the meaning, according to one definition in Japan, 33 is a sign of misfortune without a way out. Numerologically speaking, this dominance of the number 33 is what he's reading, how it could very well be a planned attack, an effort to depopulate the world into our country from China at this point. But I also don't think we should implement the 5G network either. So, I mean, we're not taking enough precautions. And Trump supports the 5G network without even testing, which is very suspicious. A couple nights ago, we played a video over the skies of California created by Scissor Fight. He has a really good camera. He took a picture of some of these chemicals that are being dumped in the skies above his house. Very powerful footage. It's almost unbelievable how intense these chemicals are when they break up. I'll play a little of this footage from his video. Let me mute it so they don't monetize everything. But he took up some really close-up shots of this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's mixing here. Whoa. He was just getting his focus there. But look at this intense cloud being dumped over the California coastline. And what this is a desiccant made out of barium and aluminum. And it's a heavy metal, and it's got an aromatic hydrocarbon in it to make it push. This is the chemtrail version 2. And a massive amount of aromatic hydrocarbons are pushing these heavy metals all over the place. And what this does is it dries out California. You want to get on the number 13 now? Okay, we can do 13 too if you want. I'm not that into numerology, but it is kind of odd that all these numbers are popping up. But yeah, the footage is really intense. He closed in on it. You're not going outside unless you're wearing goggles and a mask. You're washing the crap out of your hands. Yeah, it looks like a cloud that's blowing out. And it's done in spurts. You see that? Little lines, like slivers of this stuff. And it's really toxic stuff that's coming out of these planes. Yep. I don't blame you for being cautious. Yeah, I'm gonna carry a wet one wherever I go. A moist towelette. In fact, I was thinking of just placing it right here over my mouth and nose as a freshener, you know, a little Scotch tape there. Yeah, I stay away from crowds. I don't even go out more than, once in a while because of... Isn't that amazing footage? Wow. It's just the intensity of these clouds as they break apart in the air. And you can tell this is not a contrail. Anyone who claims this is a condensed air, no, this stuff lingers and spreads out with chemicals in it. Huge amounts. We're breathing this stuff, folks. This is what we're breathing. Yeah. Yeah, I just stopped going to the market unnecessarily. The past couple months, I've been kind of thinking more and more about plastic waste and how I want a zero footprint, carbon footprint. And it's so hard to avoid plastic waste in this day and age, being it's everywhere. Well, that's good. I'll play that PK one later again as well. I think being aware of what's happening in the world and also the trickery and propaganda that they're pitching makes you a little bit more weary of everything. Take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt, as the saying goes. Poisoning our skies. Okay, let's go to the Iowa caucus. We've been waiting for that. Let's listen in for that. A lot of leftists trying to get together, and they never talk about the key issues that really affect us, like chemicals in our skies, pesticides, herbicides. They never take a stand against Roundup at these caucuses. They never go up against GMOs or fluoride in our water system. They never talk about the key things about homelessness. This is what they do talk about.
Yeah, so he, well, I think if we think he did pretty well here, which may be the case, Iowa was his springboard this entire time, and that may still be the case. So while I'd be disappointed if I were him that there isn't an official result and maybe he did pretty well here, we don't know. It's kind of conjecture. Iowa may have served its purpose for Pete Buttigieg.
Rick Klein, what does this do to the race right now? I know you've been talking to your sources throughout the night. What is it?
It's all about the race. They don't want to talk about the issues, you know. And Pete Buttigieg, I think, is slated to win in Iowa, which will, you know, ramp up his overall appeal. But the Democrats have always had the same problem with the first person who wins in Iowa never wins the race again for the presidency, or never even wins the nomination. So it's kind of a curse to win in Iowa. There's a strong support across the globe, across the nation, for a conservative democratic values, so that we can at least find common ground with people on the right, people who support Trump right now. And that divide is so huge, it's almost unbelievable. Because there's so much anger toward Trump for having lied, and now the Republicans denied witnesses, even though they were the ones asking for witnesses a week earlier, shows that there's so much corruption in the Republican Party that they're trying to suppress the truth about Donald Trump. And we showed the truth this past week. CNN obviously has the big story. Yeah, Trump has to reveal in a court case, this is just like late breaking news, right before the vote on Wednesday, Trump's had to reveal that his administration has blocked dozens of emails about Ukraine aid freeze, including the president's role. So there's been a willful attempt to shut down all dialogue on the subject by Donald Trump.
A witness, a document. No witnesses, no documents in an impeachment trial is a perfidy. It's a grand tragedy, one of the worst tragedies that the Senate has ever overcome. America will remember this day, unfortunately, where the Senate did not live up to its responsibilities, where the Senate turned away from truth and went along with a sham trial. If the president is acquitted with no witnesses, no documents, the acquittal will have no value, because Americans will know that this trial was not a real trial. It had no witnesses, no documents. It is a tragedy on a very large scale.
Yes.
I will be now going up to my caucus to discuss what we're doing next. I will not talk about it here. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
And that's a Senate Democratic leader trying to do what Nancy Pelosi did a couple days ago, which is assert that this trial, and we expect acquittal, is not an exoneration of President Trump.
Yeah, well,
because new witnesses and
now the Republicans are painting if
documents were not allowed.
If Wednesday's vote goes forward, the Republicans are painting a very weird picture. There are people out there now claiming that they want to launch an attack against Joe Biden. And Trump has had the right for the past few years to look into Joe Biden, and he hasn't done anything. Now the Republicans are all feeling their oats and thinking, oh, well, if we get an acquittal, which they probably will get on Wednesday, they feel like they're going to now pursue Joe Biden. Trump isn't going to pursue Joe Biden. Trump is part of the two-party factionalized government that was created for us. Both people are going to go after each other back and forth and never press charges. That's just the way it is. The only surprising thing is that Donald Trump has been so bad that he had managed to get impeached rather quickly, and now we're facing him running again, and the Democrats have nobody who could challenge him, really, which is ironic. Because Donald Trump took most of my ideas and used them as his own, I still have a very winning appeal to people on the right. And I certainly support your right to bear arms, whereas the Democrats don't. And the Democrats are fixated on discussing racism and transgenderism, and all they talk about are communistic ideas and taxing and spending and taxing and spending. So the Democrats, I think, will lose if they keep talking about those things to a Donald Trump type candidate. But if a centrist candidate comes in the middle, we can galvanize votes from both sides. But I don't think that's going to happen with the censorship that's been going on here in the U.S. We haven't had 1 second of airtime in the past 11 years. No mainstream media coverage at all regarding the issues. They'd rather keep the American people pretty much asleep at the switch without any reps whatsoever. There's an American teacher documenting life in Wuhan. Okay.
Yeah. As you can see, our guards are wearing masks. This isn't unusual. It's Spring Festival. There are not and will not be many people out. That's normal. We're a living area versus a family area. Another taxi just went by me. Ha! I'm seeing some more taxis out. This must be the emergency transport. Again, we have no information. Nobody tells us anything. And quite frankly, half the local people don't know anything going on either. This is so typical here. Oh, I got a taxi. I got a taxi. Oh, praise the Lord. I'm in the taxi now, going over to the hospital. Yes. Here's my driver. Shishini. So here at the hospital, you can see it's not very busy at all. It's not very busy at all. But they are in their suits. I don't want to take too much video. If you've noticed the masks that people are wearing, a lot of these are not KN95s. They are typical surgical masks, doubled up, etc. That is not really very useful. Just got price gouged. He wants $25 to go over to Walmart. So I talked to the hospital director and I let them know I'll go over there tomorrow. They were very kind. They were very grateful for assistance and help and bringing them a couple little doodads. The people in that hospital do not speak much English, so it's harder. I told her I don't care. You can have me stock shelves. It doesn't matter. Every little bit counts. Walmart, I don't think is open. They are probably going to be closing for a while or just until. And I'm getting very reluctant to eating out at any of these places, actually. So I think I'll wait till I get home. Hello from Wuhan, China.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
快了，谢谢你。
谢谢 Thank you.
They charge me the right prices too. 谢谢你. Bye-bye. This is a bread shop I usually order from to get things to be sent to my house. I think I got enough. I just bought some bread and some snacks and I'm going to go home and have a coffee.
Have a coffee. Yeah, have a coffee in Wuhan. Well, thank you. A network of foreigners are sharing information on Wuhan. So you can either go with the fear porn or the debunking theory that this is just designed to make us all vaccinate. Yeah. Because they can't get people to vaccinate. That's the problem. So we don't have a direct winner of Iowa caucus yet because the reporting is so bad. The Democrats are so incompetent right now that they can't come up with any winners. So we'll see if the caucus has a winner tomorrow. But
Senate Republicans of all...
I think some people are wondering if... okay, we got GOP senators blocking witnesses, and the late night with Seth Meyer. I'll play that tonight in our show. Thanks for that link. Guess 947. Got it. Right, so you can go in either direction. Fear porn or just not worry about it right now. But I was in a market this past week here in Washington. I didn't see anybody with masks. But down in LA, Scissor Fight saw half a market with people with masks in Los Angeles. So I've got masks. I carry them with me in case I want to put them on, but I'm pretty careful not to actually walk up to people and breathe next to them. So I think I could just kind of like go like this whenever I have to. I am currently avoiding any viruses. Breathing through this specific hole right here in my mouth. I kind of look like an alien with my hands. I have very, very, very large hands. I get food caught in my mouth here. Every time I eat it. I'm going to have to work on that. Yeah, Mark is banning viewers. Yeah, it's been happening. Every day, Greek God. Mark has made lots of money censoring us. Oh, that's good coffee. This is something you can't really do when you can't touch your face, your hand, your face when you're out in public. I'm in a hermetically sealed, bio-clean environment where I'm surrounded by pristine air, untainted by Chinese people carrying the Wuhan virus. No, this is from Ethiopia. It's the limu bean, organic. The very first coffee bean ever created was the limu bean. So Mike Bloomberg is really using his money to get into the field and freaking a lot of Democrats out. And I like the fact that Mike Bloomberg put his message out there. Yeah, we're being censored hard over at Twitch. Yeah, but I just don't agree with his message of gun control. I think choosing that is trying to pull the Democrats away using their big galvanizing position, which is gun control. I don't think it is. But money brokers and very powerful people are behind Pete Buttigieg because he's controllable, and he's actually selling pay for play. Pete Buttigieg is offering people access once he becomes president, if he becomes president, which is pay for play, which is totally wrong. It's what Donald Trump does, and he's been getting away with it. So a vote for Pete is a vote for the establishment, ironically. One tip to override this ban and censorship for you guys is to just check out our other networks. We post our Periscope link every day at Twitter. So go to @thirdparty and join, and we will post the Periscope link at around 5 o'clock, 5:15. I just don't support the far left views of the Democrats anymore. I was a Democrat for 30 years, but I just can't possibly join their party anymore. It's wrong what they're doing. Yeah, there you go. iVlog broadcast address inside the voting booth. All right, yeah, thanks. Well, we've got a lot of people with various views on what's happening and the censorship that's been happening against us, but whether you agree with it or not, you must realize we're all being censored, even on YouTube. YouTube is knocking a lot of views down for a lot of people. And many people are even getting their sites shut down if they come up with ideas that are not considered acceptable. They call that stuff hate speech. They use that word frequently for anything. YouTube does. The answer to one Republican New York billionaire is surely not going to be a slightly richer Republican New York billionaire, one Biden ally said. It's laughable we even have to say that out loud. Okay, well, imagine a Democratic nominee who's socialist and not even a member of the party. Now imagine a Democratic nominee who's a billionaire businessman who spent his way into contention. It might be time to start preparing for mayhem. Okay. I don't know. I mean, the talk of the town really is that the best he'll pull is 8%. No, we waited for the entire show for you to watch the Larry Sinclair reboot. You want to see Larry?
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
So it turns out that no one ever found out what he got paid. Yeah, what Barack Obama paid him for fellatio, oral sex, sodomy. Because we don't know if he did the oral sex in exchange for the crack cocaine, or does anybody know exactly what Larry got paid? Well, you're an expert, Howie, on Larry. How much did he get paid for that prostitution experience? Are you guessing? Yeah, he performed fellatio on Senator Obama while Senator Obama smoked the crack cocaine. That's true. Well, thank you. I'm glad we elevated our show to a whole nother level, Howie, now that you brought that up. You know, we're going to call you our intellectual here because you're so incredibly deep with your thoughts. Thinking only about Larry Sinclair and the homosexual president we had, Barack Obama. So I guess the Democrats were kind of primed to get a homosexual going. So now voting for Pete Buttigieg is probably, the best thing they got going. First they pick a black guy, then they pick a gay black guy. Then they realize he's a gay black guy married to a transgender, Michelle. And now they're picking a gay guy who's the catcher in a relationship with a pitcher. And this isn't even baseball. That's a new add-on to the Who's on First skit. We should do the who's catching and who's pitching skit. Yeah, it's very disturbing to talk about transgenderism all the time, and all because the Democrats, that's all they talk about at the caucus. I don't know if Larry was in boot camp in the Great Lakes, D. Chappelle. You are transgender? You're a female and male. Are you Dave Chappelle? Are you actually Dave Chappelle, the guy posing as Dave Chappelle before Dave Chappelle was taken away from us? Are you the actual Dave Chappelle actor? Pretending to be Dave Chappelle? What do you mean Larry didn't get paid for it? No male prostitute goes to a paid senator like Barack Obama and doesn't get paid for it. Yeah, whatever happened to the real Dave Chappelle? Everybody wonders. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I'll tell you. Many, many years ago, we used to have the real Dave Chappelle. A long, long time ago. I remember when Dave Chappelle was really funny. Yeah, it was a good time. The good old days. You should be proud of me. I haven't talked about Jeffrey Epstein being alive once on the entire show. Thank you. Here's Dave Chappelle's look-alike. The conspiracy theory is that when he came out vocally against the African nation and the people who were persecuting him, Oprah Winfrey and Bill Cosby, all of a sudden Dave Chappelle took off to Africa and came back a completely new man a few months later. I mean, different. Even his own cousin doesn't even recognize him and says it's not him. You see the differences in their faces? There's a significant angular issue in his face. Lots of differences in the way they look.
Sensitive to my situation. I know on at least 2 occasions where they protected my own well-being, my personal well-being, unsolicited from me.
I don't know, man. It does not sound like Dave Chappelle to me. And he doesn't look like Dave Chappelle, and he's got about 40 pounds of extra muscle on him than Dave Chappelle. That's what happened. They found a look-alike in Africa, and he was trained to replace Dave Chappelle. And now I understand Dave Chappelle's got like an Alex Jones-style YouTube thing going on. Yeah, so who knows? But his own family doesn't even recognize him. Yeah, so Wuhan is a very sparse area. A lot of people have been kicked out. 8 million people quarantined, left. And we've got areas like the Walmart in Wuhan that we have photographs of here. Welcome to shopping at Walmart. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so there's some people, but it's very empty. The place is kind of like cleared out. The whole city has been cleared out. You have the flu? Oh, are you just saying that? This is the day of black. I don't dress like a car salesman. You're Rick James, really? Wow. So hey, attention Walmart shoppers, there's a new discount on Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner. Hurry to aisle chung chung chung. Okay, it was a nice shirt. Yeah, I wore this to my parents' funeral. Yeah, it's still 20 years ago. Still a good shirt. 100% cotton. Yeah, it was a sad day for me. You do have the flu, or you just say you have the flu? Well, it's a real relationship ender when you tell people you have the flu. You won't find many friends. You think the flu thing is over, so you're going to order you a new Asian wife. Well, that sounds very racist. Are you a racist? Are you one of those Trump supporter racist people? Dave Chappelle was funny, Greg Dio. But that Dave Chappelle now, man, I don't think is that funny. You look at his stuff on Comedy Central, man, he's funny. That time Dave Chappelle pretended to be a white guy, one of the Ku Klux Klan members, that was funny. You notice how no one called him a racist? Oh, good. Your nephew got a scholarship to a local community college, so he doesn't need to be adopted. Excellent. Real man's pilot working for your nephew. Well, you got an excellent immune system. Yeah, it does make you racist if you absolutely think one group of people can be replaced with another group superior. You're a racialist. No, we don't get visits from anyone. We're not allowed to. I live primarily in the cloud, so you can't visit my actual physical being. That makes me almost invincible. That's right. Many people wonder, David, how do you keep doing this every day? Seems almost beyond belief that you keep doing a show every day despite all odds, and you've been doing it since 2008. Here I was in 2008 doing it.
Hi, good morning. As you can see, I'm still wearing the shirt I wore last night and yesterday at Blog TV. It's exhilarating to do Blog TV. We've been having an incredible time. This is, in fact, day 54. I thought yesterday was day 54, but we did a recount, and we determined that today is day 54 as we approach the election.
Now, I knew back then that Barack Obama was a two-faced lying hypocrite working for a corporate goal. And everybody the Democrats produce now are two-faced lying hypocrites, even padding their pockets like Bernie Sanders is. And that's when I pretty much left the Democratic Party and started my own in 2008. And I've been doing it ever since. But having changed over the years in a better way, I think, I'm poised to continue doing this for another 200 to 300 years. I don't have any ads. I do. I still have the car. It's in mint condition. Looks just like that. So this is an empty city of Wuhan. They've already evacuated most of the people. Woohoo! No, I would never even meet Putin. Unlike Donald Trump, I wouldn't even meet him. I would never meet Putin under any circumstance. Not after he threatened the world with a hypersonic weapon. I realize now that the man is not interested in peace. He wants to be like a thug and threaten the world. That's not the person I would even meet. Just like I wouldn't meet Duterte, because I don't support thugs. People that kill people without showing human rights. I would never support Duterte. Or Kim Jong-un, a known mass murderer of over 350 people. Trump shakes his hand and says, "Oh, I like him very much. We're working on a big peace plan." What peace plan? 3 years later, what peace plan? We're going to do the big word thing, denuclear, help me out with the word, denuclear, whatever. Nuclear is some big word thing. Yeah. So Trump can't even pronounce words. He said recently in the Davos event, he talked to a reporter who said, talked about American innovation. And he says, "Oh, America is we invented so many things. Edison invented the light bulb and the wheel." And he meant it. He really believes that Thomas Edison invented the wheel. He did. He really believed it. No, the wheel was created in 6500 BC, I believe. But no, I will not be able to kiss Mr. Putin because I will not meet him personally. We will not even be crossing borders to meet or shake hands. It is not my goal. Donald Trump has left this country in disarray for so long. I will have a full-time job just helping build this nation back up. I don't have time to travel to other nations either. So consider me a hands-on president working out of the White House. And I'll be working as far as I can to help the people of this country build up new job opportunities and get better pay deals with local companies parsed with teaching you a free education. So you shouldn't have too hard and you shouldn't have to learn too much to earn 20 to 25 bucks an hour. Yeah, you watching the Dave Chappelle, Rick James clip from 15 years ago. It's a way funnier, man. Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Dave Chappelle's early stuff, but this guy, the new guy, he's not funny. No, I would rather listen to got a few things I could rather listen to. McAfee. John McAfee. Yeah.
Hello again, John McAfee here. I have been drinking heavily, which you may also have done had you been in my shoes.
He came out publicly talking about Epstein being murdered, and I thought, Why would he say Epstein was murdered? I mean, that's a throwaway line. Yeah, that's not a wig. This is my real hair. Thanks. That's a throwaway line. That's something, you know, clearly Epstein didn't die. I mean, if you think Epstein died, you obviously can't tell. A person's nose doesn't match. If the glove doesn't fit, you can't acquit. You must acquit. The ear doesn't even match. That's not Jeffrey Epstein. The guy at the top is the person that died. He doesn't have the same earlobe or the same nose. Yeah. So I believe we have been deceived. Brethren, people, wonderful brethren, we are here gathered today